A warm welcome to all my lovely audience. Today on Icy Tales, we indeed have a beautiful individual with us today. She's a lady who's extremely confident in herself and she is a fashion model. Join me in warmly welcoming Miss Shubhra Chaturvedi, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. How does it feel to be here and how are you doing?
Hello, Hiba. Thank you so much for giving me such a warm welcome. And indeed, it is a pleasure to be on this platform with Icy Tales. And I think this is our first interaction. So I'm quite looking forward to it.
Likewise, ma'am. So without holding up further, I think we should get started because I'm really excited to see how our conversation goes. So can we get started?
Yeah, sure.
Right, ma'am. So
I'm more than excited.
Same here. So let's just go to the root of where your entire journey started. So tell us how your journey began to bring you where you are standing today.
Hiba, I belong to a tier 2 city. That's Allahabad. Now it's known as Prayagraj. Right? I'm born, brought up here, did my schooling from here only. And then I went on to do my MBA, my PG, and a lot of other things. And then I, because you said how my journey started, I kind of suffered a setback that was in my personal life, and which took me back, and I kind of suffered depression for a couple of years. And that was the time when I realized that, no, my parents have not given me this life, to waste it like this. And that was the time when I, recollected myself. And I thought that, no, I have to make the most of it. And I have to get back to where I was. So that is how this all started, of a new Shubhra was born, I would say, rather. And that was not very long back. I think 7-8 years back only. So that is how it all started. Yeah.
It is indeed all these tough situations that bring out the best in people, and your example is completely right towards all this. So I'm very happy on knowing that. And ma'am, when I was researching about you I was seeing your Instagram, I saw that you are a TEDx and a Josh Talk speaker. That is a huge platform. So tell us your experience and your major takeaways while being on such platforms.
Hiba, TEDx was, I think, even Josh, but to be very honest, TED was something, which I had always, I think I've lived my biggest dream being on that platform, because I was so keen. I always used to say that once I want to witness it live, how do the speakers talk and what is the feeling? So when the organizers contacted me, it was like, for a couple of days, so it couldn't sink in. And I was like, probably it's too good to be true. And I think I was just blessed that Josh and TED, they happened within a span of 10 days. So I mean, the organizers, I got contacted by the organizers within a span of 10 days. So of course, after doing TED and Josh, I think I've lived my dream, and I've kind of become complacent after that, because I feel that there's nothing much now left to achieve. But being on TED, to be honest, Hiba, I think it is one of the biggest platforms, and it gives you so much of exposure. And when it comes to personal branding, I feel being a TEDx and a Josh Talk speaker, nothing can beat that. Nothing can, because after being on that platform, wherever I've been and wherever I've been invited, my introduction has been like, that meet Shubhra Chaturvedi, a TEDx and a Josh Talk speaker. So you feel that it has given you a new identity altogether. And being on that platform, that you are open to a lot of judgment, you are open to a lot of criticism, because there are a lot of people who don't even know you, who know nothing about you, would be viewing your videos, would be leaving comments, so yeah, I was a little apprehensive, but I have learned a lot being among such eminent speakers from all over the country. I feel I'm blessed, and I have learned a lot, and that has given another level of what should I say, boost to my confidence. I have my confidence has gone up to another level after being on that TEDx and Josh Talks platform.
It's very nice to hear that you had such a pleasant experience, and I hope that every speaker who has a passion for speaking does need to come on such platforms. So I hope that if they are listening to you today, they would be inspired. So thank you so much for doing that, ma'am. Again, on your Instagram, when I was talking and researching, I saw on your bio that you had won so many beauty pageant titles. So what is it that gives you the confidence to keep going on?
One thing that I feel is very, very important, which I keep telling myself, that it's not that I don't face low moments in my life. I do, Hiba, and sometimes it becomes very, very tough to deal with all that. But what I always tell myself is that, Shubhra, even if you are going through a storm, you have to keep going.
Mhm.
Like keep going is my mantra, because you have to keep moving forward in life. You cannot stop, you cannot stagnate. You have
Mhm.
to move on, you have to explore, you have to add up to your personality. And I want Shubhra to be a name, to be very honest, and I know that I have to slog it out if I want it to be, in real, that
Yeah,
people know who Shubhra Chaturvedi is.
right.
So I probably, I have that aim in my life. That is why I work towards it. And I feel that whatever opportunity comes my way, I just grab it with both my hands. I cannot let go of any opportunity,
Mhm.
come what may, no matter how busy I am, no matter whatever is going on in my personal or professional life, like with this interview also. Because like I said, this is my first interaction with you people, but I was so looking forward to it. And at
Mhm.
3:30, you would not believe, I was just driving, way back home, that I have to reach in time, but somehow I got late by 5-10 minutes. So
Right.
what keeps me going is the fact that I always tell myself that even if you're going through a storm, you have to keep going, keep moving forward in life. That is what I believe in.
I think
Explore, learn.
I'm going to be taking this as my mantra as well, to keep going in life, because I there are so
Yes,
many opportunities which everyone needs to witness. So yeah, the main
yes.
objective of this entire interview is to keep going. So thank you so much for that.
Going, yes.
With that being said, let's keep going to our next question, which is
Sure.
yeah. So I was looking at your Instagram again, and I noticed that you are an advocate for empowering plus size people, because in today's world in social media there are so many beauty standards, and this always ends up in body shaming, bullying. Because I've personally seen that happening. So what is your general opinion on body shaming, and how do you think we can all fight this?
uh see Hiba, I feel that the concept of beauty has actually evolved now. It is very, very subjective. But what is very, very sad is that when people meet you for the first time, they judge you by your physical attributes.
Correct.
They would not talk to you. And even people who know you, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing that they are going to comment is on your physical appearance.
Correct.
You've gained weight, you've lost weight, look at your skin, oh, you're losing hair. What is wrong with you? See, look at
Mm-hmm.
your dark circles. And this is so sad that you don't want to look at an individual as an individual only.
Right.
You first want to judge that person by his or her physical
Mm-hmm.
attributes. And people, what I feel, Eva, is people don't even realize it takes such a toll on the self-esteem of a person who's being judged. And it takes that person such a long time to come out of it. Like if I go to a party and somebody tells me that, Shubhra, you've gained weight, or you lost weight, or your work pressure is showing on your skin. After coming back, I would stand in front of the mirror and keep looking at myself, that was I looking that tired or fatigued? Somewhere it takes a toll on your self-esteem and on your confidence also. But after participating in these pageants and, by the grace of God, winning so many titles and all, what I realized, Hiba, is that people view you as you view yourself. And the day I accepted myself, the way I am, the way my body is, like if I'm
Mm-hmm.
big, I accepted it. And I suddenly saw a change in the perception of the people around me also.
Mm-hmm.
They also started accepting me the way I am. So I always tell everybody, people who come in contact with me, or people who ask me this question, is that if you really want the world to value you, you have to first learn to value yourself. Right,
Correct.
of course it is very, very important to be physically fit,
Mm-hmm.
mentally fit, eat right, eat clean, diet, exercise, everything is important. But then you need to understand that every individual is fighting a battle you know nothing about.
Yes.
Right, so let's not judge just by the physical appearance. You never know, the person might be trying very hard to lose weight, but the body is just not allowing. You have different metabolism, you have different body types, you have different genes, there are genetic disorders, there are a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just cannot judge a person on the basis of that. So this is what I told myself, that, Shubhra, now it's high time. You have to start accepting yourself the way you are. And Hiba, when I started doing it actually practically in my life, the world started accepting me. The same old Shubhra was, suddenly very, very appeared to be very, very confident and very, very good looking and smart and all of that, because Shubhra started accepting herself the way she is. So that is what I feel. And I try my best, Hiba, not to judge people only by their physical attributes.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm a human, to be very honest. I'm not a superhuman. So I would not say that I never end up judging people. Of course I do, but I try my best to just understand also that it's not just the physical attributes that you have to, see and judge a person according to. I mean, there are a lot of other things. So for me, like now, beauty is if you are smart, if you're stylish, if you know how to carry yourself, and if you're a good conversationalist. I
Yes.
feel nobody can be more beautiful than you, right?
Correct.
So that is my idea of beauty. Like I said, it is very, very subjective,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you, if a person is beautiful for me, it is not necessary that the same person is going to be very beautiful for you also,
Right.
right? So, but I try my best not to judge people only by their physical attributes. That is what I've started practicing in life.
At the end of the day, all the world needs is compassion and to be humble. And I think that's what all
Yes.
your answers was revolving around. So great job on
Yes.
that. And brownie points to all the confidence that you had throughout this conversation. So great job on that,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
I'm really getting a lot
Thank
of
you.
positive vibes coming after seeing all your confidence. So
Thank you.
yes. Also, when I was just scrolling down your Instagram, I saw that you launched your own book. So tell us something
Yes.
about that book and what makes it very interesting.
Hiba, I read somewhere when I was, it was, I think, 5, 6 years back, that if you want to live forever, write a book. And somewhere it hit me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yes, Shubhra, I want this name to live forever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how, that is when this dream of, publishing, getting a book published,
Mm-hmm.
becoming a published author, that is how it started.
Right.
And see, professionally, all of us are very busy. We hardly get any time. These days, everybody is very busy because all of us are multitasking technically. We
Correct.
are trying to do a lot of things together.
Mm-hmm.
So, COVID was the time when I got this break.
Mm-hmm.
After a very long time, I got this break from my work and everything because I was at home. And my work profile is such that I was not working from home either. There were
Mm-hmm.
not any online classes because I'm an educator. So I had not started that time. So that was the time when this whole idea of penning down my thoughts in the form of a book started. I
Mm-hmm.
conceived the idea. Then and it was, and it was an opportunity. It's like, wohi hota hai ki when you wanted the go, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yes.
I came across these publishers. They were looking for authors, and
Mm-hmm.
they were looking for authors who could write quotes because
Mm-hmm.
they were very much interested in publishing a book on quotes.
Right.
And my forte is I write four-liners and
Mm-hmm.
poems generally. That is what I am into.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already ready with, my set of 35, 40 quotes. So I
Mm-hmm.
immediately contacted them. I mailed them my manuscript and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they just approved it. And the whole process started. And Hiba, I was like I said, TED ke liye bhi, I felt that it is too good to be true. Similarly, in the case of the book also, I did not tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It was only on the launch of the launch day of the book that my parents, my best friends, my family, everybody got to know that finally Shubhra is a published author. So that book is basically a collection, a potpourri, and a collection
Mm-hmm.
of 50 quotes that have been penned down by me based on various situations, because I just wanted that the readers, whenever, like, if they are going through a tough time, or they are feeling low in life, if they read these one line or four liners to two liners, they should feel motivated, and like I said, they should feel encouraged to move ahead in life.
Correct.
So that is what the book is all about. And I was basically targeting my students. I had my students in mind. So
Mm-hmm.
based on that only, we had decided about the pricing of the book and everything. So that is how the whole idea of book happened. So it was during COVID, and like I said, Shubhra wanted to live forever, so she thought of becoming a published author, right, with her book being there on Amazon and Flipkart.
And I will surely check out this book once the interview is
Yeah,
done.
please, please
Yeah.
do, please do. And I would wait for your valuable feedback.
Yes, ma'am, for sure. That is for sure happening. So great job on that.
Thank you.
Being yourself, how do you deal with times when you feel demotivated? Do you follow any strategy or is there anything? Just basically, how do you deal with times when you feel low or underconfident?
Hiba, I feel we've already discussed this. Like
Mhm.
whenever I feel a lot of, because I told you that I've kind of faced depression. So
Yes.
Abhibi, I get pangs of anxiety, and feeling of being demotivated and discouraged, and feeling that in spite of working so hard, I'm not getting the results. I go through all of that. But phir wohi cheez, I just tell myself that Shubhra, no matter whatever it is, you have to keep going, keep moving. And secondly, this too shall pass. This
Yes.
is what I keep, repeating to myself and keep telling myself. Shubhra, this too shall pass. Ye bhi niklega, ye bhi niklega.
Mhm.
And I'm a very, very strong, like a God following, God fearing person. Very,
Mhm.
very strongly, I believe in the Almighty. So, there's this, I don't know. Doha hai ya kya hai, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of lines in Hindi, which I always tell myself, because I've heard my mom and everybody, my nani side, my masis and all, they keep repeating the same thing. So I also keep telling myself the same thing. Hariye na himmat, bisariye na Ram Naam, jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. So I've given my life to the Almighty, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure कि उन्होंने मुझे life दी है, तो Almighty is going to take care of it. So,
Right.
like I said, I'm a God-believing and a God-fearing person.
Very,
So
very
that is what
great.
I tell myself when I feel demotivated.
Great to see that side of you as well. So it's very nice to know that. And let's move on to our last question, which is a very fun segment because I usually like to end all my interviews where my guests and me, both of us, are smiling. So tell us an
Yeah.
interesting incident in your journey which was funny or weird and which made you realize something. Anything which was out of the
Uh, funny. See, there are a lot of incidents, funny also and memorable also.
mm-hmm.
But uh, when I joined as an English trainer, when I started my journey as an English trainer, I thought that I know it all, because English
Mm-hmm.
comes naturally to me, and being a convent educated female and smart in her skin and everything.
Right.
So when I entered the class for the first time, I had to deal with these students who were not very good in English in terms
Mm-hmm.
of expressing themselves. But yes, they were well read because most of them were preparing for the, one day exams. So
Correct.
they asked me a question in
Mm-hmm.
Hindi, and the confident Shubhra, I thought that I know it all,
Right.
and I ended up giving the wrong answer. And I goofed up in front of the whole class, and it was a class packed of 100 students,
Mm-hmm.
packed with 100 students. So I just ended very confidently. I gave them the wrong answer, and uske baad, when I realized,
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay, I've goofed up, you know, the lesson that I learned from there, Hiba, was that it is good to be confident, but Shubhra, you cannot afford to be overconfident. And the students were so respectful, they did not utter a word, they did not say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Next day, when I realized, I went through the question again and I read the answer and I understood it. I went to the class, I apologized and everything, and they were all laughing. And I told them that thank you so much, students, because you taught me a very important lesson of life, that it is good to be confident, but you cannot afford to be overconfident. And from that day till now, it's been, a journey of 10 years. I
Mm-hmm.
never go to the class without preparing myself well for the lecture, no matter what it is, no matter where it is. So that is, I think, an incident which actually shook me and taught me a very important lesson of life, which
One thing.
otherwise probably I wouldn't have learned.
Yes, one thing always leads to another, and one incident
Another,
always
yes,
teaches you something. So, very, very
yes.
nice to know that. And I'm glad that we're ending on this note where you told us a funny incident and both of us are smiling. So,